Good morning. It is currently 7:03 a.m. on Tuesday, July 21st, 2015. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. As mentioned yesterday, I have just made my complicated routine worse, I guess. I don't know. I keep staying up too late, and then that forces me to double down on this whole thing where I get up at my alarm and then decide I have lots of time, so I go back to bed, and then I snooze when that secondary alarm wakes up, and so in practice, my actual getting up keeps getting later and later, which is not ideal. I need to be a little bit more strict with myself. I'm not going to be able to go to bed early tonight, though, because my improv 501 class show is tonight, and it's not until 9:30, so by the time we go on and we do our show and then we hang out for a beer or something afterwards, which is, it's an important, there's an expectation to have, at least a little bit of socializing afterwards. But in any case, probably won't be an early bedtime tonight either. But I need to course correct on this routine a little bit. I want you to hold me accountable. You. Not all of them. You. All right. As I'm sure is super obvious from my frizzy bedhead, I got a haircut yesterday. It is now down to here instead of lower than that. Got a couple inches taken off. Mostly just a maintenance haircut, getting rid of all the frizzy split ends and everything. Nothing too fancy as far as styles go. I tend to put off haircuts for too long, and Luna, hush. And then tend to not necessarily take super good care of my hair, even in between. Luna, no, please. Which just tends to mean that by the time I actually decide to go get a haircut, it's kind of in rough shape. But, I think partly inspired by the show tonight, I decided to go ahead and do it. But also just because the heat and humidity this year has just been super oppressive. I don't know if I just didn't notice it in previous years, or if it's other elements that are making me hate it more this summer, but boy. I understand that there are people who like the humidity, and I think maybe it's the people who grew up with it. Although I know some people who grew up with it still hate it. And, I don't want to tell anyone that they're wrong. And I especially don't like to tell people that they're wrong for liking something. I don't want to talk people out of liking something that they like. Because it's nice to like things. I would prefer it if I liked the humidity. I mean, then I'd be happy with the weather right now. But, I am still, nonetheless, entitled to my own opinion, which is that humidity is awful and I hate it, and it's just miserable. As I was driving to work yesterday, it was, it was first thing in the morning, and it was 76 degrees and 94% humidity, which I just mean, you take a shower in the morning and then you step out the door, you're outside for 5 minutes, and you feel like you're just dripping with sweat. It's just, who thought this was a good idea? Huh? Was it you, God? I thought so. What else was I say? Oh, well, so one of the things that I tweeted about yesterday, and I'm almost at 5 minutes already, but I'll talk about this. One of the things that I tweeted about yesterday was that the supercuts where I went to get my hair cut, has a really odd policy when it comes to appointments. So like when I called them at like 2 in the afternoon and said, hey, can I get an appointment for tonight at 6:30? They said, yes, all right, you're on the list. But then when I show up at 6:22, 8 minutes before my appointment time, apparently what happens is all that calling ahead does is put your name on the list, but people who just walk in also put their names on the list. And the list does not seem to be in any kind of order. Now, that said, they actually took care of me in a relatively quick way, I think partly because they could tell that I was annoyed. And I guess maybe I'm just confused as to how it works. I think what it comes down to ultimately is that they accept walk-ins if there's not currently someone whose name was on the list there to do it, but they will accept walk-ins to the point where they're still working on those when the people who've made appointments show up. So for example, maybe my appointment is 6:30, but if someone walks in at 6:25, they'll go ahead and take them right away, even if that means that my appointment time gets pushed back. And I'm just thinking, well, what's even the point of calling ahead then? Like, there's no benefit to be gained. I don't get it. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, that weirdness aside, I got a haircut. So, I will talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes. I got to get ready for work now.